Absolutely. He would definitely be able to place himself in a position of power. By him being a millionaire, he's definitely going to be able to have a lot of influence over the staff. He's going to be able to be, use his crafty ways. Alex, like I said, he's already damn near convict already.
Alex Murdaugh was recently sentenced to life in prison in the South Carolina Department of Corrections for several horrible things, including murder. Now, you're probably thinking, what does this guy with a lousy beard and terrible haircut know about prison and what's going to happen to Alex in prison? Well, it's a funny thing. I just got done serving 10 years in the South Carolina Department of Corrections, where Alex Murdaugh is headed to right this second. So I do have a little insight about what he can expect, what his time's probably going to be like, and things of that nature. But before I give my take, I decided I would reach out to a couple guys I met while I was in prison and let you hear it from them directly. So I got on a FaceTime video call with this inmate, and the first question I asked him was, what do you say to people who think, man, as soon as Alex Murdaugh walks through those doors, he's dead meat. They're gonna get him. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I say this, I don't think that nobody's going to jump on him. Being, there used to be a lawyer, so, anybody with common sense that's in the building is going to automatically know that he's associated with law. He'll get a lawsuit on their ass, and he'll get a lawsuit on the prison. You know what I'm saying? And basically, by a lawsuit being on the prison, it'll force, the staff to basically hold it on the inmates, and that'll pretty much, eliminate the problem that he could possibly have as far as somebody jumping on him. And then you have people that also, want to get involved for their own gains and their own interests as well. So, and it won't, it'll likely be gang members and shit like that. So that ain't gonna really just happen like that.
It's a good point, and I agree. The thing about it, in reality, I mean, unless your charges are really something related to, pedophilia, along those lines, people don't, what he did, it was terrible, it was horrible. But going in there, they don't really care about that. People aren't just, clawing at their doors. There he is, get him. They don't care. They've probably done something just as bad or worse. Inmates there, they got a lot going on. They got their own situations. They got their own plans and things they're trying to do and execute. And a guy like that, you do something to him, he knows how to get some pressure put on the staff. Okay? Usually staff will look the other way for most things. There's an understanding there between the staff and the inmates. Usually they'll look the other way. A guy like this, he probably knows how to bring the right amount of pressure down on the staff, and when pressure gets brought on the staff, that's going to get handed down to the inmates, and it's going to mess up their routine. It's going to mess up a lot of their plans that they have going on, whatever that is. No one's going to say, hey, just because you want to punch Alex Murdaugh in the face, we don't care. That doesn't override everything that everyone here has going on. Now, although they won't just immediately attack him, that doesn't mean they won't try to extort him, which led to my next question. Is everyone watching? Do they see him on the news? Do they know he's coming? Are they eagerly anticipating his arrival?
Surely. If he go to a yard, where it's more hostile to level threes and shit like that, and infested with the gangs and shit like that, then yeah, he'll definitely people be waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? People are already ready just to see him. You know what I'm saying? People just want to get around him. You know what I'm saying? People just ready to get with him. You know what I mean? So it won't be it won't be no thing. You know what I mean? He'll definitely be expected upon arrival. You know what I'm saying? So the police can't protect you. None of this shit.
Surely indeed. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what you call it. Extortion, an understanding, business. You call it what you want. You're going to have to be useful. And that's not just for Alex Murdaugh. That's for anybody. If you're not useful to anyone, you're useless to everyone. And that's just not what you want to be in there. Okay? Alex Murdaugh could be very useful in several ways that I can think of. Now, the level of extortion, the intensity of that extortion, how serious can it really get? Well, He agrees with me, and the answer kind of depends on where you go. And unfortunately for him, because of the sentence he received, you're probably going to be going to one of the more dangerous yards.
Like I say, he might go to Lee County, he might go to Broad River.
Lee County. It's a notorious yard, and for a good reason. In 2018, it was on the news because of one of the deadliest riots that has happened in the state prison's history. 7 inmates died, stabbed to death with knives, homemade axes, all sorts of medieval-style weapons. It's pretty bad, and that's probably where he's going to go. So, my next question for him was, what do you think this extortion would look like? How does that work?
Well, the extortion probably more so work like goddamn, a simple bargain. You know what I'm saying? By him being a millionaire, he's going to be an asset, and want to, get him more involved in whatever they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And they'll probably just link his ass in with them. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's getting the drugs and shit like that right there, that's probably, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be linked directly in. You know what I'm saying? By him being from a smaller town, he definitely, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to have a lot of homeboys and shit like that. So he definitely is going to, he might have a harder time because there's not a lot of people around where he's from that's going to have a lot of influence. It's a small town. He'll probably catch more of a hard time.
Exactly. You got to think about it like this. There's no run-of-the-mill, low-level, nobody really knows this guy inmate who's going to just, really extort this guy. All right. It's going to be someone with a lot of influence, a lot of control, and a lot of power over what happens in these dorms, these yards, and even throughout the whole state prison system. Okay? Because there are many people like that. These guys are going to want him to fund really operations that help bring in contraband to them, weed, drugs, tobacco, phones, whatever they want. We got the plan. We need the funds. We need the money. We need the money to make it happen, and that's where you come in. He's going to have to do it. He doesn't have to, but that's probably where you're looking at maybe something would happen to him. So, not cooperating with that, not the best strategy. What is a good strategy if you're Alex Murdaugh? That's exactly what I asked our guy.
I would say the best strategy and shit like that I would use is my legal experience. That would be my bargain. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can help you. I can help you out. I can help people with their cases. You know what I'm saying? I got money. You know what I'm saying? I can, so hey, I'm more, I'm more of an asset.
I cannot stress enough how much I agree with that. I tell you, I don't care if you love the guy or hate the guy in prison. Nothing is more important. Your hatred for Alex Murdaugh is not more important than you going home. It's the most important thing there is to these guys. They want to get their cases overturned. That's what a lot of these guys are working on. And usually the only place they have to turn is hopefully there's a guy on the yard. Usually it's some guy who's serving a good bit of time himself. He spent a lot of that time in the law library, reading law books, to the best of his understanding and knowledge. Who knows how good or bad that is. And you're going to go to him and offer him a little bit of money to, hey, help me with my case. Look through my stuff, see if I, help me put my case together to appeal my sentencing and the decision and, all of that. And who knows what quality you're getting from these guys. This guy, yeah, you're probably getting quality. That's going to be his strongest skill, his, one of the best ways for him to be useful in there. If you go to the most powerful guy on the yard, who has the most control over the most inmates, and you tell him, hey, I can probably help you get a lot of years knocked off your sentence, or maybe get your sentencing overturned completely. Well, you instantly become very important to that guy, and he's got the credentials to back up whatever he's claiming he can do. That's just a fact. So immediately, nothing's going to happen to this guy, because if something happens to him, I lose the one person who might get me out of prison a lot sooner or immediately. And when you look at it from a standpoint of possibly financially and, legally, he could be the most useful and important inmate in the whole prison system to a lot of powerful prisoners. Think about that for a second. And you got to ask yourself, could Alex Murdaugh gain too much of an advantage? I mean, this guy's no slow leak. I mean, he's been doing this out here for quite a while. Mixing, mingling, making moves, rubbing elbows. He knows there's a power structure. And that doesn't just go for out there. It goes for in prison, maybe even more so. So, of course, I had to ask, what do you think? Do you think he'll be able to use his wits, use his cunning, use his skills to his advantage to ultimately set up shop and become a powerful person himself, maybe the most powerful?
The answer to that is absolutely. He would definitely be able to place himself in a position of power. By him being a millionaire, he's definitely going to be able to have a lot of influence over the staff. He's going to be able to be, use his crafty ways. Alex, like I said, he's already damn near convict already, so it's just about how manipulative he is. Majority of the prison system is full of people that's, come from poverty. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be able to use that to his advantage.
Now, especially on this point, I'd say I agree, which I do, but who cares? Because if anyone knows, this guy knows. Simply because of who he is. Who knows? He might even be the one who's benefiting off him pretty soon. Whatever happens with him, as soon as he reaches a yard, and what yard that is, I will know soon. I have an understanding, and I'm staying in communication with my guy, several other guys across several yards. As soon as any update happens with him, I'll know. Whatever he's doing in there, how it's going for him, what's happened to him, whatever the case may be, I will get updates. And if you want to get those updates as I get them, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, most importantly. See you guys next time.